What's up, guys?
Hi.
We are back for another reaction.
Yeah.
I actually know what we're doing. You want to tell them?
Yeah. So I was stumped today for what song we should react to. So I asked James if he knew of any songs that he hadn't listened to yet that we could react to. And he came up with Mourning by Post Malone.
Yes. So the backstory is I actually haven't heard this song. I heard a snippet. I saw Michael Knowles from the Daily Wire apparently did a reaction to this, and I saw maybe like a 2 minute clip of that. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I have not heard this song in full. I heard a little segment of it, and there's a few things about sobriety. So I was like, oh, that's why me and you should do it because we are sober.
We have almost 8 years.
Yes,
8 years in February.
October for me.
A little earlier than me.
Yes. Oh, you don't need this one. You got that.
No. Yeah. So this video is sponsored by Carnivore Snacks. Carnivore Snacks is literally one of my absolute favorite meat snacks and one of my favorite snacks ever. This is the bison sliders. All of the sliders are my favorite. They have lamb, beef, chicken. They have all kinds of sliders. You should definitely give those a shot if this is your first time trying them. They're perfectly salted, about the size of a potato chip, and it's like eating a meat potato chip. Seriously delicious, and I'm obsessed. I really love them. I really got into them when I started the carnivore diet for my fertility when we were trying to have a baby, and I'm pregnant now. And they're just really the greatest snack, and you should really try them if you haven't. You can use our coupon code WithSmith, and that will save 15% off your first order, and the link is in the description below. We are also sponsored by SeatGeek, which is a great website to get tickets for literally anything. It's just like any other ticket website, but better. They have all concerts, they've got sporting events, comedians, literally anything you can think of, you'll find it there. And it's just one of my favorite websites to get tickets from. We love the experience. And you can use our coupon code WithSmith for $20 off your first purchase, and the link is in the description below. And if you click the link in the description below, it'll populate with some things going on in your area, which you might be interested in. And yeah, that's it from me.
Oh, so this is the music video. So
Okay,
we should,
so we got to pull up the lyrics.
yeah, I would. Because again, so I don't know this song, but I heard a snippet of it, and there's some imagery in it that I found interesting based on with the lyrics. So,
All right, let's do it. Give me 1 second. I gotta pull it up.
do
Okay, I
you
got it.
do you want to control it or
I'll do it. Yeah.
okay?
We pause here if you're new here because we like to go over the lyrics and interpret what it means and, really get a deeper understanding of the song. So let's go.
Oh, lonely traveler, please help us. We have to move the cube.
Don't want to sober up. The sun is killing my buzz. That's why they call it morning. Thought I was strong enough. Threw my bottle at the sky. Said, God, that's a warning. Don't want to sober up. Try to keep it inside, but I just want to pour it. Thought I was strong enough. Got a lot of shit to say, couldn't fit it in the chorus. I just left while they spent a Maserati. The way I got a flex, you think I did Pilates. I call my quote-unquote friends. Do you got plans? Turns out everyone's free when the dinner is. Then they drag me to a party out in Malibu. After 30 high noons, it was pretty cool. Tried to shoot my shot, she told me that she had to shoot. Bye-bye. Sober up, the sun is killing my buzz. That's why they call it morning. Thought I was strong enough. Threw my bottle at the sky. Said, God, that's a warning. Don't wanna sober up. Try to keep it inside, but I just wanna pour it. Thought I was strong enough. Got a lot of shit to say, couldn't fit it in the chorus. Stumbling.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause here because I think it might be a good place to pause.
No, it's the perfect place. That's where I would have paused.
Yeah. So, okay. I mean, this song's about not wanting to be sober, or at least the chorus is.
So there's a lot of mixed messages in it, and I think that's what makes it so interesting. So, do you wanna read the
Yeah, we'll
lyrics?
start with the lyrics, but I do want to say that I feel like that block, the cube, represents his alcoholism, right?
So the part of I'm okay. I'm not going to say anything about that in particular.
Okay, so he goes, don't want to sober up. The sun is killing my buzz. That's why they call it morning, like morning with a U. Because it's also like in the morning, but then morning because like the buzz is dead.
And he's hungover.
Yeah. Thought I was strong enough, threw my bottle at the sky, said, God, that's a warning.
If you can talk, I just don't want the mic
Oh,
to
yeah,
come.
sorry. Said, God, that's a warning. Don't want to sober up. Try to keep it inside, but I just want to pour it. Thought I was strong enough. Got a lot of shit to say. Couldn't fit it in the chorus. So if you throw your bottle at the sky and say, God, that's a warning. Like,
That's that's crazy. I think that's my favorite line so far of what we
can you
heard.
explain it for us?
So literally, you see it. So he wakes up hungover. He has an empty bottle and he's throwing it at the sky. He's like, "That's a warning, God," as if him throwing his bottle is gonna somehow hurt God. And
Hmm.
oh, it's gonna get worse than that for you, God. I'm just letting you know. So he's threatening. So there's that
Threatening
expression.
God with his
Well,
alcoholism.
there's the expression like your arms are too short to box with God. So this is in that same vein that he's like, I'm warning you, God, I'm gonna come get you. Like it's a impotent gesture. He's cursing God, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nothing could ever come of it.
So he doesn't want to sober up. He just wants to keep drinking and keep his emotions inside.
So try to keep it inside, but I just want to pour it. So that's like a double
Yeah,
entendre.
like keeping his emotions inside, but also like pouring them out, but then also like pouring like alcohol.
Hmm.
And then thought he was strong enough. He has a lot of shit to say. Couldn't fit it in the chorus. I bet when you struggle with alcoholism, it's a guarantee.
Hmm.
So he goes, I just left Wally's, spent a Maserati. The way I got a flex, you'd think I did Pilates. I call my quote unquote friends, you got plans. Turns out everyone's free when the dinner is. Then they dragged me to a party out in Malibu. After 30 high noons, it was pretty cool. Tried to shoot my shot. She told me that she had a shoot. Bye bye. Damn. So I don't know what Wally's is.
Let's see if there's an annotation. California-based wine and liquor store.
Okay. We're from New York.
Yeah.
Not familiar. So he bought a bunch of alcohol if he spent a Maserati at the liquor store.
Yes.
And the way he flexes, you think he did Pilates, like he has to show off.
So it's interesting. He says the way I gotta
Like he
flex.
feels the need
He
to.
has to, which is very interesting.
And he calls his quote unquote friends, meaning they're not really his friends. And they're free when the dinner is, meaning when he's paying, they're always free.
So Post Malone, I don't listen to his music a lot. There's a handful of songs that I really like, and he has like there's a lot of depth in them. Like this is actually a very sad song.
It
It's
is.
like very, I mean, it's called Mourning, but it sounds fine. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
sounds
it
like
sounds
nice.
fun
The
and
content is
carefree, but it's
the
not.
content is very sad and lonely and
what he
depressing.
what he does with his music is what like the Smiths do with their music. It sounds really fun, airy, like you play it at like a beach party or a backyard party or by the pool and everyone will just be like having a good time, like, oh, the song's really good and chill. But then you really listen to the lyrics and you're like, this has like way more meaning than just like the way it sounds.
Mhm. So he's drinking. He feels obliged, like he has to show off and flex and buy things and take everybody to dinner. Like that's his responsibility. Yet, and then he wakes up hungover and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
But it's
And
also more than that. Like they use him.
of
They're only
course,
with him because he pays for everything.
yeah, they're not his friends. And then it's interesting because he says, "I don't want to sober up." So it
Well,
seems
no alcohol. When an alcoholic isn't ready, they never want
no,
to.
of course, that's for sure. But what I'm saying is like it seems like the reality of his life hits him. Like when he sobers up, he's like, I don't have all these friends. I have to spend all this
Yeah,
money
it's
too. Do you know what
easier
I
to deal
mean?
with that when you're drunk.
Of course.
So I tried to shoot my shot. She told me she had a shoot, so he was talking to a model.
Hmm.
She didn't want to go back with him, which kind of goes along with like using him like, oh, like we can hang out here, but like I'm not going to go home with you.
The one line where he says, then they dragged me to a party out in Malibu after 30 high noons. It was pretty cool
So we had to drink a lot.
in order for it to the part for himself to have fun at the party. He
Yeah,
didn't want to be there.
no.
Very interesting.
So then it goes into the chorus again.
Yeah, so we covered that. We covered the chorus. So
And did we get up to verse two?
this is where we
No,
left
this is
off.
where we are. Okay, very
And
cool.
then, okay, real quick before we go back in, the imagery of the video, the woman said, can you help us? We got to get rid of this block. So if you just saw, he was pushing, he couldn't
Yeah,
do it.
pushing it. Now he's blowtorching it. He was doing
Yes.
whatever he could to either move it or try to destroy it.
Hmm.
Down the corridor, came across an open door. Throwing up is easy, and who put on the Commodores? That's a nice tile floor. Wish I got to know you more. Who am I talking to? Nobody. Take me outside. I'm a little too high. Paid a little too much for the time of my life. When money ain't a problem, everyone's lying. Even when I tell myself that I don't want to sober up, the sun is killing my buzz. That's why they call it morning. Thought I was strong enough. Threw my bottle at the sky. Said, God, that's a warning. Don't want to sober up. Try to keep it inside, but I just wanna pour it. Thought I was strong enough. Got a lot of shit to say, couldn't fit it in the chorus.
Is that it?
Hmm.
Is that it?
I don't know. I haven't seen I haven't seen this whole video. I don't know. I only heard the snippet. Yeah, it looks like this is just credits. I
Yeah.
guess you want to skip, make sure there's no scene that we're missing at the end. Okay, so that's
No.
it.
Okay, so
I guess the video real quick. Talk about the conclusion of it.
so he shrunk the cube to the perfect size ice cube for a scotch gimlet.
Yeah, which is so
Or like a highball, whatever that was.
poetic. And so it's interesting when he says I don't want to sober up. I don't it's weird. I feel like he means like he doesn't want to be so he
He
doesn't
doesn't
want to
want
be
to face the reality of his life.
hungover, but okay, you know what? Let's go into the second verse because there's an interesting line in there.
Okay. Stumbling down the corridor, came across an open door. Throwing up is easy, and who put on the Commodores? So he's still at the bar, I think. So he's like stumbling around, doesn't know where he's going, throwing up, wondering who put on the Commodores. I guess he doesn't like the Commodores.
It's nuts. Well, I see. I thought that he did like it, but the Commodores have the song. It's easy like Sunday morning. Easy is the name of the
Mhm.
song. He says throwing up is easy. Who put on
True.
the Commodores? That's actually a pretty sick bar.
Okay. Because, yeah, I don't know the Commodores.
Well, you know, I'm
I
easy
know the
like Lionel
song, but like
Richie.
I wouldn't have known.
Who sang it? Yeah, so that easy and the Commodores tie-in is nice there.
Yeah. So that's a nice tile floor. Wish I got to know you more. Who am I talking to? Nobody. Take me outside. I'm a little too high. Paid a little too much for the time of my life. When money ain't a problem, everyone's lying, even when I tell myself that I. So
The
is he talking to the floor? Meaning, like, wish I got to know you more? Like, wish I was passed out drunk more often?
So two things, well, real quick. It says everybody lying. On here, the closed caption said everybody's sliding. So I don't know which lyric is right. But yeah,
Hmm.
so that's a nice tile floor. Wish I got to know you more. It's an interesting line. So
Or is he so drunk he's like talking to someone and he's just like staring at the floor?
so he's throwing up, right?
Yeah.
He's on the tile floor, right? You know, on his hands and knees, assumingly, and he's like, "That's a nice floor. Wish I got to know you more." So I don't know if he's saying he was so fucked up and so drunk, and also in the process of throwing up that he didn't take the time to appreciate the floor. Do you know what I mean?
Or maybe he just wishes
He's
he were passed out.
so
I don't
interesting.
know.
Maybe he wanted to sleep more, wants to be drunk. That's very. I don't know.
And then
Who am I
who
talking
am I
to?
talking to? Nobody, because that
So,
happens.
but and he's alone. That's like the
Yeah.
thing. He's alone again.
And then he's like, take me outside. I'm a little too high. He paid too much. Like he spent way too much money getting trashed right now for the time of his life. He's not really having that great of a fun time. Sorry.
It's okay.
And then money's not a problem for him. So everyone's either lying or sliding, whatever it was. So, just sort of using him, doing whatever.
Yes. So I actually think when he says paid a little too much for the time of my life, I don't think he's just talking about money. I think he's also referring to the hangover, right?
Well, he's saying paid a little too much for the time of my life. Like he literally was talking about how he spent like probably thousands of dollars on
No,
alcohol.
I agree, but I think it means alcohol, but also more than that. Do you know what I mean? Like the way we would say, like, we spent too much for the time of our lives, and we're not just
Yeah.
talking about the dollar amount. Like, we're
Like
ruining our
life,
lives.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you're paying with your energy, you're paying with your
And he's
health.
spending his time with his fake friends and buying, you know what I mean? And it's again, it's not, yes, it's the money, but it's not just the money. You know what I mean? It's like the fact that
Yeah.
he's sacrificing his dignity, his self-respect to have a good time, to be with these people that don't care about him. You know
I
what I
feel
mean?
like the main sentiment of the song is like I don't want to sober up, even though it's like literally killing me because this is all I do. And I'm like clearly an alcoholic. I'm not like the type of person who's just getting drunk on the weekend. But if I were to sober up, then I have to come to the realization that like my friends aren't my friends. I'm not really having fun. I'm sort of wasting my time, wasting my life. And I just don't want to come to that realization. I'd rather just be blissful in the ignorance of thinking that I'm having fun when I'm really not.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with everything you said. It's like, yeah, the don't want to sober. The sun is killing my buzz. That's why they call it morning. So yeah, I mean, we discussed the double entendre there. So he's waking up hungover. But yeah, it's weird. I don't know why. Even though he's saying I don't want to sober up, and he drinks at the end of the whole ice thing. I feel like he doesn't want to be a drunk.
No, I feel like that
Do you know what I mean? I
too.
don't know if we're biased because we're in recovery and we're like,
Well,
oh,
he
I know.
doesn't. We know he doesn't drink anymore. Like
Does is
Post
he sober?
Malone
Oh yeah,
as a
I think he
person.
is sober.
Yeah, he doesn't drink anymore.
Yeah. But it's interesting because he's cursing God.
Or at least I don't think he doesn't drink anymore.
Something like that. I know he smokes weed. He might not drink. I don't remember.
He also lost a ton of weight.
Mhm. Yeah, he cut out like sugars and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's hungover. He's cursing at God, threatening to fight him, which is
An alcoholic thing to do.
yes. And then he says, "I don't want to sober. Try to keep it inside, but I just want to pour it." So again, I know we discussed this double entendre already. He's trying to keep inside his alcoholism, but he wants to pour the drink, but all these feelings that he's feeling. Thought I was strong enough. So he's not strong enough for what though? To not drink? Do you know what I mean? Or to deal with all the feelings inside?
To deal with all the feelings inside.
Yeah. I don't know. So it's it connects with me and I think you too because we
Yeah.
are in recovery, but it's very interesting because again, he drinks and he's saying he doesn't want to be, he wants to sober up, even though I think he wants to not be a drunk.
Yeah, because when you are an alcoholic or an addict, the people who you're hanging out with, usually you just manage to find each other. Usually they're also alcoholics and addicts. Like you're rarely hanging out, drinking, doing drugs with people who aren't also alcoholics and addicts.
Yeah.
So they're not really your friends. They
No.
never really were your friends. because you became friends with them through your addiction.
So
So
like,
you're not really like yourself.
so the other thing is obvious. So it was a theme in both verses. He talked about how he has money and he can afford. So he's also I do think he's talking about alcohol abuse, at least, if not alcoholism. He's talking about the trappings of fame and wealth. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
me
Like that's
too.
another thing that he's struggling to deal with, and alcohol is the way he deals with it. You know what I mean? But the fact that he's rich and famous is killing him and hurting him. You know what I mean? He doesn't know how to handle it. He has money, so money's not a problem, but
No,
I still find myself surrounded by people that don't care about me, using me for my money, and then I wake up in the morning and I feel like shit about myself.
exactly.
And
So the drinking helps to you forget that that is the reality of things.
yeah, well, again, alcohol, drugs are not the problem. They're the solution, which is the issue. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Just lies
It,
within you.
it's a spiritual sickness, if you're in recovery, the 12 steps like we are, you find out I mean, it is a three-part disease, mind, body, and spiritual, but the spiritual sickness is what needs to be corrected in order to
Yeah, because you
treat the
take that
alcoholism.
with you wherever you go. You can't run from it.
Yeah.
You can only face it head
Hmm.
on. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's interesting. Like I said, I don't, go out of my way to listen to Post Malone, but I like a lot of his songs when I hear them, you know what I
me
mean?
too.
And it was very funny. The beginning, there was like a goat or a sheep going bah, which is funny because he does like
He
that
does like that noise.
Billy Goat thing with his singing.
Yeah,
It's
it's cool.
probably
I
intentional.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is good. It is sad though when you
Yeah.
read the lyrics for a breakdown.
And then to see him drinking at the end, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. But
But yeah,
it's cool. I liked it.
yeah, I like it. I
Yeah.
like it too. And
Nice.
yeah, so definitely check out Carnivore Snacks, SeatGeek, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.